Raw, uncut, and unapologetic. Welcome to Men Talking Mindfulness. Something strange happens when we get in the middle. This point in one's journey is most critical. Here is this midpoint, often where excitement starts to fade, the inspiration is fickle, and the feelings of what the fuck am I doing might start to creep in. There's a name for this moment of change. James Clear in his book Atomic Habits refers to this crucial time in one's development as the plateau of latent potential. James in his book goes on to state, if you find yourself struggling to build a good habit or breaking a bad one, it's not because you have lost your ability to improve. It is often because you have not crossed the plateau of latent potential. What gets us through this plateau? James goes on to say, forget about the goals, focus on systems instead. What's the difference, you might be asking? Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the process that leads to those results. So here we are in the third month of John's fitness journey. And we're going to talk about some of these struggles with both old and new habits that John is having and learn what systems he is utilizing to keep moving forward beyond the plateau of latent potential. John, good to see you, man. Congrats on your journey.
Yeah, well, it is just that. It's a journey, and 3 months in. I guess technically I've been working on it since November. So like, if you look at it that way, it's coming up on 5 months. But really, I've only been tracking the metrics since like January closely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. I definitely feel that I'm hitting that plateau of latent potential. So
Yeah.
having you there as support, having the audience there as support, that's definitely helpful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just some real quick numbers. In November, you're at 234 pounds. Now you are at 205.9, which is congratulations on that. That's almost
Thanks, man.
a 30-pound drop, which is impressive.
Yeah, I was at 203 just a few days ago. So these numbers are, at the beginning of March. So here we are, March 20th. So, about 3 weeks ago. And I'll get another test here in another week or so. Yeah. And then we'll have some more numbers. But yeah, so I'm down to 203 right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's, so that's weight, right?
Right.
And I went down. Yeah. So body fat percentage, I went down in January. I was at 29.2. And then I misreported last month. I must have misread my DEXA scan. I went back and listened to our show last month, and I said 22 point something. So last month I was at 24.9% body fat. So almost 5 percentage points dropped there. Now, last month I was at 215 pounds. So the beginning of February, 215 pounds down from 225. So I lost 10 pounds, and then I lost another 10 pounds from February to March. However, my body fat percentage only went down 1.3%. So between February and this month, I went down 1.3%. So 24.9 to 23.6. And here's why. The fat tissue, I lost 5 pounds in fat. But where I had gone up in lean tissue, so muscle mass, I actually lost 5 pounds there. I definitely want to talk about that more here in a second. But in decreasing my muscle mass, the lean tissue, my body fat percentage didn't decrease as much. So that was a little bit frustrating. But yeah, the numbers are still looking good. I'm still on track per my goal on my calendar here, my goals, my monthly goals. So still looking good, but it's a little disheartened by that.
Well, I could see, I'd feel a little disheartened because I'm going to step on a fucking stage and like flex my muscles, and then I'm losing muscle.
Losing muscle.
It's like, oh, not so good.
Right.
But you're learning along the process. Like, let's actually talk. Let's go right there as far as like, how are you putting more protein into your diet, which is going to build muscle?
That's the key, man. So I haven't been tracking. Well, sorry, I've been tracking it, but I haven't been hitting my protein numbers because it's a freaking chore, man. Like hitting protein while you're cutting calories. So my suggested protein is 225 to 230 grams of protein per day in order to build muscle. It's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, I've been tracking my protein intake because I want to kind of hit like I'm at 200 pounds or like 190. Or 195. I want to hit like it's gram of protein per pound
per
of body
pound.
weight, right?
Yeah.
Ideally, if you really want to get big, I guess, right, or just really put
Yeah.
on some muscle. And it
Yeah.
is like I've been eating, chicken, avocados. I've been taking supplements, eggs, and it's a lot of
It's a
fucking
lot
meat,
of
man.
work.
A lot of
Yeah.
protein,
Yeah, it
to
is.
get that in there. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, same thing. Eggs, ground beef,
Yep.
chicken,
Yep.
all the lean
Yep.
meats, lean
Mm.
proteins, but still eating those and trying to stay under the number of calories that I'm supposed to take in per day is tough. So it's a chore. But yeah, with that loss of 5 pounds of muscle, even though I dropped a lot of fat, I lost, or rather, I didn't lose as much body fat percentage.
Right.
Which I can change that by increasing the protein, which I'm doing. Now, I will tell you, the visceral fat, which I'm very proud of, has essentially since January, I dropped a third since January into February, and then I dropped another quite a big chunk from February into March. So I'm down about almost 50% of visceral fat, which I can feel in my cardiovascular system. I can feel it like the other day on Tuesday, Becca and I went and walked up the incline here, which is a fairly steep uphill climb. It's a 1 mile of lateral distance with 2,000 feet of elevation gain. And I did it back in October, and my heart rate was off the charts. And I tracked it this time, and it got no higher than 131 beats per minute, which is pretty significant with how tough this is. But anyways, bottom line, like I said last time, I'm feeling more capable. I feel like I'm looking healthier. I looked at a picture of myself back in November versus one now, and we posted it on Instagram. And both my body has changed, but my face just looked really unhealthy. And again, not even fat. Like I've seen fat people who looked healthier than I did. My face just didn't look healthy. So that's where I'm happy is I'm looking healthier, feeling healthier. So this is all still good for me, whether I win on stage or not.
Well,
ultimately,
just getting up there is great. And I'm thinking of those pictures now. And honestly, like when you were bigger, John, the feeling of you just looked burdened in some way. You know what I mean?
I felt it. I felt, I felt heavier, yes, in weight, but also, that's a great way of putting it. I felt burdened. I felt like there was something literally on my shoulders.
And then the other picture is you looked lighter. You look like it was just like, I guess, burdened in the sense of like your energy just seemed to be diminished in some ways.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh,
and
it
then
was
now
absolutely.
and now that you're like lighter, seem to have more light, but also, I think it's like, you're really working to aspire to a very challenging goal, which has got to have some obviously internal reward as well. That is kind of shining through, if you will,
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And, I think you've said it, and a couple of other people have said it, that I look younger, which which is great to hear. So I'm feeling good, looking good. I hate to say that from me, but I've heard it from others. So I'm starting to feel confident that I'll be able to get up on stage. And I'm excited.
Well, let me. I just had a quick, not on our scheduled questions here, but would it? Could you instead of like trying to find this dance between losing weight and continually adding muscle and protein, would you be able to like lose the weight and then build muscle? You know what I'm saying? Or is that, I don't know if that works. I'm just having a thought here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm certainly no pro at this. I'm learning as I go. I'm actually, next time I go in for a DEXA scan at the beginning of April, I'm also getting my resting metabolic rate measured.
That'll be helpful too.
So I'll be able to dial in the number of calories that I should be taking in every day. But yeah, I'm sure that's possible. But given that I have 4 months before standing up on stage, it's probably imperative that I do both simultaneously. So I've just got to get it into a more strict routine as far as eating, which we'll get into here in a second with the questions. But
well, let's so what's the biggest bad habit that you're kind of being challenged with right now? What do you think? The biggest bad habit?
Biggest bad habit. Funny enough, we're just talking about James Clear, and I put out this newsletter for our show and from Frogman Mindfulness today about motivation versus discipline. Like, I think the first couple months I had motivation. I still have it, but it's waning. And now I have to
Right.
really tap into that discipline piece,
Yeah.
which we've talked about on our show recently. But
Mm.
I think I'm, excuse me.
The
I
systems,
think I,
and just to be clear,
yeah,
the
the
systems,
systems.
right?
Yeah.
That's like, it's
Well,
not
yeah.
goal,
Well,
systems. That's why I put clear in the
well,
beginning.
yeah.
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 Right.
James Clear, he talks about systems. Yes.
Right. Right.
That's great. But
Hmm.
in addition to the systems, you have to have discipline to
Oh,
actually
right. Oh,
implement those
yes,
systems,
exactly.
right?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I had the motivation, but the discipline is I need to build it. So,
Okay.
and like Tim Kennedy talked about being disciplined in everything that you do. It's not just the one thing in your life, being disciplined in everything that you do. So I've been disciplined, but I don't think I've been disciplined as much as I could be.
Right.
And that has let me slip into the kind of I'll call it the good enough mode with food. Like I've been eating clean, but every once in a while I'll give myself a break, and I've dialed in my meals, but I'll let portion sizes creep, I love food, man, and
Me too. I mean,
yeah,
I've
and
seen you eat.
I'll rationalize eating something that's off the plan because, hey, I put in a hell of a workout this week. And then also, with that good enough mode, I've been cutting workouts a little bit shorter because life has been getting really busy. I mean, you even said that the other day when we dialed in for one of our shows. You're like, dude, you've been hella busy. And I have been. I
I
mean, life
know.
gets busy
Yeah.
for everyone, but that's just another place I need to be disciplined is, yes, life gets busy, but if I can't get a full hour workout, uh, you know, get myself 30 minutes, but then get the other 30 minutes later. And that's where
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been cutting them short, and I haven't been as disciplined
Yeah.
as I could be.
Are you seeing a certain amount of gym time and, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I know you've been
Yeah.
really have a pretty great, good, solid protocol, for
Yeah.
your workouts. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
go
I've
ahead.
actually just switched it up, man. I've been doing kind of push pull workouts, like pushing for the whole body and then
Mm,
pulling for the whole body the next day. And that's
interesting.
been working pretty well. But what I've switched it up to now upper body, lower body, and that upper body includes both push and pull. So I'll be doing,
Hmm.
bench press and pull ups in the same day. And then the next day it'll be lower body, push and pull. And
Hmm.
then I'm incorporating cardio into both of those.
Yeah, yeah.
And that I think is more sustainable because
Hmm.
it's not working the whole body every single day. So this versus working the same muscles just in different ways, pushing and pulling.
Yeah.
I think
Hmm.
that's it's helping. So and honestly, I was getting a little bored with that other
Yeah. Well, I
routine.
mean,
So
you're
I think
putting
I
a
need
lot
to
of work
shake it
in.
up,
Yeah.
right? I think
Yeah,
I
I
need to
agree.
shake it up, have some variety. It's the spice of life, right? So yeah,
Are you doing like, because I know, like, I mean, heavy weights will definitely, bring more muscle and low weights. Are you doing like a combo of, like, your start at your highest, go to your, like, rep it out low?
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So
Yeah.
I do drop sets. So I start as heavy as I can for maybe 5 to 10 reps.
Okay.
And then I'll do 2 sets of that and then immediately drop into a drop set that's about 70-75% and go
Mm.
as many as I can with that. And what's funny is per the DEXA scan, originally, so January was great. I was balanced. February, my left arm was showing that it wasn't keeping up with my right arm as far as growth. So I started working out my left arm, heavier weight, more
Mm.
reps, more
Mm.
sets.
Yeah.
Same thing on this last DEXA scan. Even though I'm working out more, it hasn't kept up.
Mm.
But my right leg has started not being able to keep up with my left. So I'm completely out of balance.
Yeah.
So now I'm
Yeah.
working my right leg harder and my left arm harder. And yeah, hopefully I'll
To
find
get
some
balanced.
balance here. Yeah.
Wow. Well, what do you, um, we talked about systems, so what else you learn about yourself during this journey? Like, 3 months in, like, you really work hard, being disciplined. Like, what's
Yeah.
coming up for you? Who's
Well,
John McCaskill now?
it's a little bit humbling. I kind of went into this like, oh yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be able to get this done, no problem. But
Yeah,
I don't want to say struggling, but it's a challenge, which
yeah,
I
yeah.
expected it to be, but I didn't expect it to be as hard as it is.
Hmm.
Um, I'm learning that consistency beats intensity.
Okay.
And funny, recently posted something about that even. But it's, it's better to show up every single day and do something
Right.
than going all out for a few days and then crashing. Right. So many of us
Yeah.
do that at the beginning of the year. And that's
Yeah.
where I'm trying to really implement the discipline.
Mm.
Um, and the key, the key isn't being perfect, but it's being consistent. It's being
Yeah.
relentless.
Right. Right.
And I'm adjusting by planning my meals before I get hungry, because if I don't, then I'll just eat everything in sight.
That's a
And
really
then,
good fucking point right there. But yeah, keep
dude,
going.
it's like going to the
Really good
grocery
point.
store when you're hungry, right? If
Yeah.
you go to the grocery store when you're hungry, you're going to buy all sorts of junk.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
eat before you go, then you're going to do better. Well, same
Yeah.
thing with the meals. Like if I get hungry and then I go and eat, I'm going to eat the rolls on the table. I'm going to eat everything.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's a
trying to
really good
plan the
point.
meals, prepare the meals before I get hungry. And then I'm trying to set the non-negotiable workout times. And when I say non-negotiable, it could be 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes here,
Yeah.
over the day, rather than just being like, hey, I have to get an hour and a half in one giant chunk. Sometimes that's not realistic in my day right now, but
Yeah.
I'm working on getting the work done consistently. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's all consistency within the system. Like I love the
yeah,
system. Like I plan my fucking meals. Like I know I'm going to eat afterwards. Like that's
right.
huge. And it's leading you to the goal. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. What about, what are some like common feelings that might be coming up as we go through this? Anything like kind of new, or, are you on this kind of roller coaster, or you kind
Uh,
of, you know?
yeah, I'd say a roller coaster is a good way of describing it. I
Yeah.
feel like, some days I'm really, really motivated and excited about it. And others,
Mm.
I'll tell you, when I got that last DEXA scan and I'd lost 5 pounds of muscle and my body fat percentage hadn't decreased as much as I'd hoped, I was disheartened. Like that day, I was like, I think I texted you. I was like, fuck,
Yeah, you
I
did.
didn't
And I
lose
was
it.
like, oh
Yeah.
shit,
And then I'm thinking, oh man, am I going to be able to meet this goal, the ultimate
right.
goal on August?
Right.
So there's in all honesty, there's a little anxiety around it, which I think
Yeah.
is I'm using it as fuel.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna quit, but I'm using that anxiety as fuel. Like, hey, well, shit just got real. I mean, I signed up for the thing. I think I sent you a picture. Like, I've actually
Yeah.
signed up. I've signed up
Yeah.
for the event. So now it's real,
Yeah.
man.
Well, this is like, well, that's like a part of the plateau of latent potential is the valley of disappointment. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? He talks about too, where it's just like, I'm like first couple months, or 3 months, I'm like, I'm fucking killing it. This is great. I'm moving, I'm doing things, I'm feeling good because of the change I'm experiencing and all that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like oh my God, I have 5 pounds. Like, oh, feel like crap. It's like, oh, this is getting much harder than I thought in some ways, as you kind of
Yeah.
continually, to keep the flywheel of consistency going. I mean,
Right.
so hopefully, I just wanted to bring up like that plateau of latent potential, because it's like, let's see next month and then the fifth month, if it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, I got it dialed in, I'm doing great. So, I mean, it takes, I think, I'm speaking to more of our community in this regard and
Sure.
using you as the guinea pig. It's because it's like, this is what change looks like. This is real time fucking change in the life of our beloved John McCaskill. It's real, it's happening. And this is, and thanks for sharing, this and, your experience with this. I think that's, what can we expect over the next couple months? What do you think? What's your feeling? What are you
Um,
thinking?
let's see. Yeah, I think um, definitely more intentional about the meal planning.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Are you mixing in
the
new foods kind of thing to make it more fun? I'm just curious. Like,
Yeah, I have been probably not the right foods. Like I said before, I'm giving myself the
yeah.
good enough. Um, like I had some lasagna the other night, and then afterwards I
Fucking
was like,
those carbs,
"That's-
man.
dude, lasagna, man."
I know you
Yeah.
like your fucking
So
carbs,
like,
dude.
what was it? It was pizza the first month, bread last month, lasagna this month. I'm like,
Carbs, carbs, carbs.
yeah,
Like the devil, the
yeah.
devil, the devil.
So let's see. What can we expect over the next month? I'm getting that DEXA scan next
Okay.
time, and I'll try to post some details on that. Getting that resting metabolic rate, and the goal is to drop a bit more fat while gaining that lean mass. tighter meal tracking, like really dialing in those macros, specifically the protein, because I don't want to lose the muscle anymore.
Yeah.
I've got the creatine going.
Yeah. Good.
I've got the testosterone, the Smorlin going. But then I'll say one thing that I'm probably not great at. Like last night, I woke up at 2 a.m. and couldn't get back to sleep. Ended up getting up and working. I got to be more intentional about that sleep, because that better recovery, that's going to end up working towards better results, right? If I'm sleeping better, then I'll probably get into the gym better. If I'm sleeping better, then I won't crave the carbs, which we've talked about. What is it? The ghrelin, I'm probably missing.
That's it. No, you're right. That's ghrelin. Yep.
Ghrelin and leptin, I think it is. That satiety.
Satiety.
Thank you, satiety. So I'm not feeling, if I'm sleeping better, then I won't feel the desire to eat that kind of crap. So those are some things that I think you can expect. I'm
glad you brought up sleep, because we're talking about, just hitting it, going to the gym, being consistent. Sleep is where our body begins to develop that muscle. It begins to restore. It gives you the energy for the next day. So it's like the sleep is just as important as all the activity, all the protein you're eating. Like where is it's like the light in the dark, right? You're putting out all the energy during the day when you're in the waking, but in the sleep is where all the other stuff, it works in a different way, and it's just as essential. And if you're not catching that sleep properly and being consistent with your sleep, like going to bed at the same time and honoring a certain amount of sleep you need every night, it's going to be tougher to hit that goal. And sleep, I'm glad is like, at least you're being aware of it more as a system. And I know you are. I mean, we've been on the Whoop for a long time, but it's essential. Yeah.
Well, I changed from the Whoop. I'm on Garmin now. I've got this Lux light off to the side here, trying to get the lumens or whatever. No, it's not the red light. It's the really bright. Like if you see it, you'll see it turn up on my face. It's like super bright light off to the side. That's supposed to simulate, getting the vitamin D, and supposed to simulate getting out into the sun. I'm taking L-theanine. I'm taking apigenin, and one other, I forget what it is, magnesium L-threonate, or I'm screwing that up too. But basically, I'm taking these supplements to help me sleep, all through what's his name? Andrew Huberman, Hubes. I watch his stuff.
Store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, not through his store. It's just through watching his show. And he's like, I went on and I was like, okay, what can I take to sleep better? And that's what he's recommended. And I've been taking it. I didn't take it last night, and I could tell that there was a massive difference. Yeah. And I'm doing our thing. I'm taping my mouth up.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the show for the first time and you're like, what the fuck? He's taping his mouth.
It's been 5 fucking years, man, or 4 years I've been tapping, right?
That's from James Nestor in his book Breath. It's definitely helping. Yeah.
I've been one thing because of your journey, and I'm working out too, to bring more protein. I've been buying whole chickens, like a whole chicken, and it's so simple. I just fucking bake it. I throw it in the oven for like an hour and a half, and I have this giant chicken that has a lot of meat, and I'm surprised how much meat. It's like 3 meals essentially if I want it to be. Dude, anyway, it's so easy.
I'll do the same thing. I don't cook it myself because I'm lazy, but I'll buy the cooked rotisserie chicken at the grocery store and just tear it apart, and just throw it into a couple of little pre-meal plan buckets or whatever you call those, the containers. A lot of protein. Awesome. It is. Yeah, and it's very simple. I just throw hot sauce on it and have some greens with it, and that's all I do. That's all I mean. Oh, dude, I have all sorts of different hot sauces just to.
Me too. I have like 8 of them or some shit.
Well, you got to change up the flavor, man.
I'm liking right now the Old Bay hot sauce.
Oh, dude, I love. I haven't had Old Bay hot sauce. I've always had Old Bay seasoning.
Old Bay fucking hot sauce, dude. It's good. It's good. Try it out.
I spent 4 years by the bay there in Annapolis, Maryland. So Old Bay was a staple. And then now, also growing up in Louisiana, Tony's Creole seasoning. I should get paid by that company, man.
You're promoting it everywhere.
I put it on everything, man.
Okay, last question. So, where do you need support? Like, how can I support you? Maybe the audience, if they want to comment or whatever, like, or do you need support? Well, what are you feeling?
I'm going to go out on a crazy limb here. I'm going to put out my phone number on our show. texting every once in a while to check on me and see if I'm doing what I need to do or to offer some motivation. My telephone number, 757-619-1211. I would love some, motivation or just accountability partners. I've got a couple of teams set up on LinkedIn. I've got another group that we text back and forth with. But just if you're listening to this and you hear this number, 757-619-1211, and if you feel like giving me a little inspiration or maybe a little kick in the ass, I would appreciate
thumbs up or a little motivational video or send a quote and and John, that's very kind of you to put your number out there, and don't abuse it. People out there that are like thinking about be kind.
Send me spam.
I mean? Yeah, don't send a fucking spam. John's not interested.
I don't want I don't want to say it on the air, but I don't want pictures of genitalia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no dick pics.
Just
okay?
imagine.
No dick pics.
You said,
right? No boobs. Sorry. It's ridiculous. I know. Anything else before we go, John? That's wonderful.
Man, this is always fun.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I came into this probably a little disheartened. Even I was like, what am I going to talk about this time? Because I'm going to tell them how bad I'm sucking. But now just having the conversation with you, I feel lighter and having more fun with you. So thanks.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Maybe that's one thing you bring a little bit more, and everybody into their life, practice, whatever, the gym, laughing a little bit, man. I was talking to a student the other day, or one of my coaching students, and we just we were laughing about a bunch of stuff, and I could just feel there's something about that, especially two people laughing together and having a good time, and just making fun of life, because it's just such a fucking what are we doing? What is this thing we're doing?
We take it way too seriously, man. And I'm definitely one. I do it myself. As a matter of fact, I'm listening to this book, Essentialism, by John McCown. And he talks about the importance of play. And we've had a discussion about that before. We probably need to have another one. But the importance of play, the importance of laughter, how good it is for you. But, ultimately it's good for your soul, good for your heart, good for your mind, but it's also good for your health, man.
Yeah, exactly. Right. There's last thing if you ever want to, Anatomy of an Illness, Norman Cousins wrote this book back in 1973, I believe. And I've mentioned before, I read this a long time ago, and it's about literally this guy had some sort of debilitating collagen disease. And the doctor said, hey, you know what? You're not going to survive more than 6 months. Oh, wow. He's like, what the fuck, right? So, so he checked himself out of the hospital. Hospital food was shit. The light was shit. He went into a hotel room, watched, he literally laughed himself and took very high doses of vitamin C because he read that would be very helpful for what he has. Yeah. And he just watched the Three Stooges, laughed his way back to fucking health.
Wow.
Over months. That's all he did. It's a great book. The Anatomy of an Illness. It's short, but that's how powerful laughter is. And I'm glad we're finding it here, John. And we can share it with our community. And we're gonna put this on the pod. We're gonna put this on YouTube. Thanks for connecting with John. Thanks for connecting with us. Oh, also our Spartan race.
I was just about to say, don't forget the Spartan race. Man.
Yeah, our Spartan race, October 19th in Dallas, or outside of Dallas, Granbury. We have, I think, actually, John, Scott Tucker, the fucking mortar between our bricks.
Introduced us.
He's gonna join us. He's gonna join us. Yeah,
talking about weight loss, man.
Oh,
have you seen that? Oh my gosh,
dude. He's
holy
incredible.
cow!
He was bigger than you.
Way bigger.
He was like, and he's but he's killing it. And
just one more comment. I want to say, like I say on all these episodes, this is not about fat. This is not about fat shaming. This is about how I felt in my skin. Other people who are different shapes, sizes, if they feel comfortable in their skin, if they feel healthy the way they are, that's great. More power to them.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I'm sure there would be doctors who tell them that they are not necessarily healthy, but hey, to each their own. So I want to make sure this is not about fat shaming. This is about my own feelings, physically, mentally, emotionally, about how I am and about where I was. So please take it as that.
Yeah. Hey, if you're living your best life out there and you're feeling great and you got a couple extra pounds, fine. You know what I mean? Do your thing. But if you're not, living your best life and you're just feeling this, that, and the other thing sluggish, I really suggest, and we should get in your body. Just start to take care of your body and watch how your mind starts to take care of itself. Watch how your relationship starts to change. watch how everything begins to shift because you just make just a commitment to just taking care of your body. It's so essential.
Yeah.
Awesome, my man. Thank you.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Hey,
you.
mentalkingmindfulness.com for the information on our Spartan race. It's going to be a 5K, so 3.1 miles, obstacle course of like 21 or 22 obstacles. All the information on the site. We have a team up there that all the information's there. So if you have any questions, just check it out and come join us in Dallas. Yeah, October 19th.
And check out our Instagram to see the picture that I'm talking about with
Look at the
face.
burdensome John.
It's funny. Even in the first picture, I'm smiling, and the second picture, I'm not.
Yeah.
But even in the second picture, even though I'm not smiling, I look healthier.
Yeah.
So
Well, you are.
So
great, John.
Well, thanks, brother. All right, and thank you all for all listening. All right, Well, take care.
Peace,
Bye.
everybody. Thank you.
Peace.